And we're back with some more Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode. And in this one, I think we are going to get right into the start of year number 8. I don't believe there's anything left to do. We have Niemi in the lineup. We have the first line back together of Kovalchuk, Stahl, and Nash. Pikkinen is a new alternate captain instead of, what's his name? Kabile, I think? Yeah, Kabile was previously an alternate captain. Now I've given it to Pikkinen, as he is definitely the much better player at this point in his career than Kabile is. And honestly, I don't know if Caberlet is even going to be in the lineup on a nightly basis, considering he's only a 1.5 star. So, with that all being said, I think we can advance through October now, and we'll see what happens. Well, after 5 games, Wisnowski is injured once again, so unfortunate. How long is he out for? All right, day-to-day, bruised finger. That's not bad, considering his injury history so far with us. And it's weird, because his torso is durable and everywhere else is normal, so he's just getting really unlucky, I suppose, with his injuries. So I guess that would put Salmela in there. But otherwise, we're doing pretty well to start out. We're 5-0 to start the season, and our next game happens to be against the 5-0 Tampa Bay Lightning. So one of these teams not going to be undefeated anymore after this game, but we'll see what happens in the rest of October. You hate to see it. Eric Stahl now injured as well. How long? Hopefully not long. Day-to-day. Okay. Knee soreness. He should be back soon. And Eric Stahl, as expected, has won Player of the Month, as he has had, let's see, wow, 18 points in 9 games, 9 goals and 9 assists in 9 games played. What a beast. So speaking of stats, let's take a look at the rest of the stats here. Kovalchuk with 21 points in 10 games. That first line's insane. As Oshie with 13 points as well, Nash with 11, Wisnowski in 9 games with 10, Pikkinen with 9 and 10. This is all of our prominent scorers are definitely coming to play so far this season. So not really much of a reason to stop the simulation as of right now. We may as well keep going after we check the goalie stats here. So Pavlich, he has a 908, and Niemi has a 904 save percentage and a 275 goals against average in 5 games. No losses, though, for Niemi, so, I mean, we're 8-1-1, so that's not that hard to do on an 8-1-1 team, I suppose. So, unfortunately, the injuries are kind of biting us hard here. Salmela and Ludman now down, and it looks like we're going to have to call up a defenseman, and it looks like Ludman is actually out for a while. Ooh, neck laceration. 1 to 2 months. That is unfortunate. And what about Stahl? Looks like he's almost back, but he's still at the red plus on there. So, actually, Salmela's suspended. He's not even injured. Suspended on November 1st for an on-ice incident. 6 games remaining. That's unfortunate as well. Yeah, it puts Knuble on defense, so we're going to have to call someone up here. Unfortunately, we don't have much in the minors in the way of NHL talent, so I think for right now we'll just call up Brookbank since he played last year. Wow, the injuries are just not being kind to us at all to start out this season. Now Phillips and White go down with injuries. We just can't catch a break right now. Phillips, day-to-day, I believe. Yeah, that looks like it's day-to-day. Usually 80% next to the fitness means day-to-day. Unfortunately, Todd White looks to be long-term. Torn abdominal muscle for 1 to 2 months. And we are going to have to call up yet another defenseman, as we now have Higgins on the point. So I guguess Heward. So after 2 months, the first line definitely slowed down a little bit. They're still point per game, but not as great as it was in the first month. We're 15-6-2. And in goal, Niemi with a 900 save percentage and a 908 for Pavlich. We're going to have to call up another forward here. We had an injury to McKenzie, so I suppose Shushinsky. Good news, Todd White is back on the 4th line now. And Ludman is back now as well from his major injury, so hopefully a bit of a boost to our defense as we're now 18-11-2. Bit of a slide recently. So hopefully Ludman helps out there. So unfortunately, Brookbank was claimed on waivers by Nashville. Had to send him down due to Ludman returning. But that's how it goes sometimes. So on January 1st now, we're clearly a good team. I think we go the rest of the season in this one because we are 23-11-4. I believe that is the top of the division. And the lines just keep going. Well, as far as the top 6 go anyway, the lines are producing offensively. And then in goal, you have Niemi with a 920 save percentage. He has definitely picked it up recently, and Pavlich with a 908. So I'm not really concerned too much. I think we'll go up to the trade deadline at the very least, if not the end of the season. So I guess I'll see you guys at the trade deadline because there's not much else that I really want to do right now. There you go. Antti Niemi is the goalie of the month of January. He now has a .926 save percentage. What were you doing, Buffalo? Now that we're getting close to the trade deadline, I do actually want to re-sign some of our players, such as Niemi, Pikkinen, I think Phillips as well. He's done pretty well defensively this year. I mean, obviously with that 80 defensive grade, yeah, he's definitely done well. And then Peltonen, even though he's 35 years of age, he continues to do very well for us. Only 22 points this year, so he's not on pace for his usual 50 or 55, but still some very respectable grades in there. Wow, Niemi wants $840,000 for 2 years. That is not nearly what I was expecting, so I will definitely meet that demand. I think I'll just submit this to him because I have no objections for an offer like this for a goaltender that good. And there you go. Niemi, Pikkinen, Peltonen, and Phillips have all signed with us longer term. Okay, so I have come across an interesting situation here for Mark Giordano, who's on the San Jose Sharks, 25 years of age, and take a look. He's only played 11 games this year. Now, you would think, especially as the alternate captain, that would have just been because he was injured, right? Well, no. At least not according to this. His last injury was September 23rd, which was a while ago. And it was only for 22 days. So I'm thinking there must be something going on with Giordano and the Sharks because he's not being played at all. Only 11 games played so far this year, and we're more than halfway through the season. And he's had, again, one injury that lasted 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm thinking I am going to take advantage of this situation and possibly steal Mark Giordano from the Sharks, as the Sharks aren't even good this year either. So it doesn't make any sense why they're not playing him. And if they're not playing him and he's not injured, then I may as well try to get him for my team, So, I'd be willing to give up a first for Giordano, maybe even a second. That's how good Giordano looks, because as we take a look at his grade, he has a 71 grade. And then as we take a look at the Sharks roster, the 71 grade, 60 offensive grade, 80 defensive grade. That would be an improvement on our defensive core for sure. And I think if we could pull this off, that would be fantastic. I'll even give you Bailey for this, like the rights to Josh Bailey, because this is fantastic. If we can get that, they will never accept this. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is going to be tough. At this point in the GM mode, I'll even give you 2 firsts. Let's just, I know it says they'll never accept this offer, but let's just see what happens. Okay, so they rejected. They said we would be below the cap floor if we made this trade. I'd give them Skula. He hasn't exactly been great this year, and he's on a $1.5 million contract. I know this is overextending, but I would even give a third here. I cannot add more than 5. All right, well, we'll see if this works. And unfortunately, it does not. All right, this is my last offer, I think. I just want to see if this works. Skula, Bailey, and 3 firsts for Giordano. I just want to see if it works, because Giordano would be tremendous. Yeah, I don't think this is working. If 3 first-round picks doesn't get it done, then I don't know what will. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Thought I saw a good opportunity there, but apparently San Jose's being stubborn about Giordano for whatever reason. I mean, I get he's one of their best players, but they weren't even playing him, so, whatever. Maybe a consolation prize here. Dan Boyle, the captain of the Florida Panthers, he's had a pretty good year himself. 70 grade, 72 defensive grade, and 66 offensive grade as a 3.5-star player, but the Florida Panthers are not 20, 26, and 7, so I want to see maybe if I could take Dan Boyle here instead. And he looks fairly consistent offensively as well. He's good for 40 to 50 points a year at least, sometimes 60. So let's see what we can do here for Boyle. We're getting closer on Boyle than we were Giordano for sure. We only have Skula and Bailey in there so far, and they already think it's a well-balanced offer. I wouldn't mind giving this up, honestly. It's a multi-year deal for Boyle, and he's very solid, very consistent, and we know this first-round pick isn't going to be good because we're a good team. And as for Bailey, I mean, he might be good himself. He's already a 1.5-star player, but we're at the point in the GM mode now where, I'm just going for the best players possible, not for the future at this point, and Skula, he's not been good. And we need to send a defenseman back the other way. So I think we are going to go through with this trade here. And there it is. Florida has accepted our offer for Dan Boyle. So I'm just going to do one last look over on Boyle just to make sure I actually want him. And I'm pretty sure I do. I didn't see his scouting page earlier. So his personality, yeah, that looks fine. His role, that looks fine. Yeah, everything looks to be in check about him. His leg durability is a bit worrying. But let's check out his injury history here. He doesn't have any recent injuries, so that's a good sign, I suppose. Contract looks good. Yeah, I think we are going to do this trade. So Skula, first round pick, and Josh Bailey to Florida for Dan Boyle, complete trade. Welcome to the Atlanta Thrashers, Dan Boyle. So upgrading our defensive core even more. So we now have Pikkinen, Boyle, Wisnowski, Phillips, Kabele, and Ludman on the same defensive core. That is looking phenomenal, if you ask me. I mean, as we take a look at just our defensemen here, I mean, those defensive grades, they're nothing to sneeze at. And even Wisnowski, who has a 56 defensive grade, he still has 24 points on this season, and that was not as much as he usually gets, but still, he's contributing offensively. So I really like this defensive core. There may not be any stars on this back end, but there's certainly a lot of depth. A lot of very good depth at that. So I think that's the only move I want to make. So that being said, I think we'll sim the rest of the season. I'll go up to the trade deadline just in case there's any last minute moves I want to make. But besides that, I think we're good to go. So a bit of an unfortunate situation here. The playoffs already started for whatever reason. I swear I just clicked advance to award nominees, but it advanced past that for whatever reason. The game glitched, I think. And we are now one game into the playoffs against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I guess we'll stop it here. We'll review the stats real quick, and then we'll let things off. So Kobe finishes the season with 95 points, 42 goals. Stahl with 89 points. Basically what we're used to with that first line, doing most of the heavy lifting. And then in goal, Niemi with a 922 save percentage in 67 games, and Pavlich with a 910 in 17. So that being said, I'll end it off here, and see you in the next one when we continue the playoffs.